Good morning, beloveds. So it's the 5th of July. My neighborhood was doing fireworks until midnight. But yeah, I did go for a walk this morning, and for the most part, they did clean up after themselves. We've had a couple of years back where we went out on the day after a firework holiday, and it looked like a war zone. There's just trash everywhere, but for the most part, they cleaned up after themselves. And we had yesterday, there were twice where it just rained buckets for like 30 minutes. So the ground was good and wet. So that was helpful because it lessened your anxiety of, what your neighbors are doing with fire. And I did absolutely nothing yesterday. I literally did not leave my house. It was great. I enjoyed it. And everybody should do it every once in a while. I sat on my couch and we ended up watching one of the Marvel TV shows from start to finish, which was longer than we thought it was. We thought it was like 6 episodes and it was like 10. We were like, oh, okay. And, we cooked. We had 2 meals, just did breakfast-ish, it's kind of brunch, and then dinner, and it was good, and the cats snuggled with us. Fortunately, my neighborhood's loud often enough that my cats are like, what is this noise? Whatever. And they're fine. They might get a little extra snuggly, but they're not like freaked out. So, I hope that you had a good 4th of July and, were able to rest and get some sleep. So it is now July 5th. Our title is I Receive My Good. And our Bible quote is, whatever things soever ye desire, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. That is Mark 11:24. How simply Jesus tells us that whatever we need, we shall receive if we believe that we have it. Is it so hard, then, for us to believe that the divine gift is forever made? Prayer is a sincere desire to enter into conscious union with the divine presence and to receive from it every good thing that makes life worthwhile. The truth leads me into a more abundant spiritual life. It also leads me into the possession of everything necessary to my well-being here on earth. When I discover the kingdom with its spiritual gifts, the material gifts which shadow forth this... When I discover the inner kingdom with its spiritual gifts, the material gifts which shadow forth this inner kingdom will also make their appearance. I now learn to forget the wrong that may have appeared in my outer world, and turning with gratitude to that inner light, I think upon those things which are good. In doing this, I become emancipated from my previous bondage. My prayer today is one of affirmation. It incorporates a complete acceptance of the divine beneficence and the eternal givingness of the Spirit. Today, I lift my cup of acceptance, knowing that the universal horn of plenty fills it to overflowing. This shall include everything I need, whether it be health, happiness, or wisdom. Today, my mind is open and my consciousness receives the kingdom into itself. Okay, so I have a couple of thoughts right off. First off, to receive from it every good thing that makes life worthwhile. What makes life worthwhile? I think that's a question that we need to answer. What makes life worthwhile for each and every one of us? Because there are going to be some things that are going to be the same, and there are going to be some things that are different. And what makes life worthwhile? Love, peace, harmony, creativity, feeling safe, feeling seen and heard, the ability to pursue that creativity that makes you light up. And it can be what you do for work, or it can be what you do, not what you do to pay your mortgage. So what makes life worthwhile to you? And I think that's an important question that you need to answer. The other thing is we talk a lot about the possession of everything necessary for my well-being here on earth. Well, what is that? And does that again go back to the question of what makes life worth living? And it's not necessarily the same thing, but it's also what's necessary, because there are a whole lot of things that a lot of us have that aren't necessary to our well-being, and sometimes we're just overwhelmed in stuff. And so, and what I mean by overwhelmed in stuff is we're busy keeping up with the Joneses, and the Joneses aren't any more happy than we are. They just have a lot of stuff. So go back and think, well, what makes life worth living, and what is actually necessary to my well-being? It's going to be some of the same stuff, and it's going to be some different stuff. I did mention safety in life worth living. That's also necessary to my well-being. The ability to pay my mortgage is necessary to my well-being. And I think those are two questions that we need to answer for ourselves, and then move in that direction. So that when we are treating for, we're not treating for stuff just because we think we want it, but because it's actually necessary for our well-being. All right, so that's that quick thought there, which is much more intensive than I'm leading you to believe. It goes back to the question of knowing who you are. It does. Okay, so I received my good. These Bible quotes, when they go back to the ancient language, and it's not even ancient, just older language. Okay, whatever things soever you desire, when you pray, believe that you receive them, and you shall have them. It does come back to belief. And that's one of the reasons why when we teach treatment, we say treat in present tense. Treat as if you already have them. Don't treat that you will have them, treat that you have them now. That way you are activating the form, the idea, and then Spirit can bring it into form. And that's Mark 11:24, if you want to go read that in context. How simply Jesus tells us that whatever we need, we shall receive if we believe that we have it. Activating the form in the law. Is it so hard then for us to believe that the divine gift is forever being made? Is it so hard? Is it so hard to believe that there is a power out there for good and that we can use it? Both Emma and Ernest said a variation of that. There's a power for good, and you should have it. You should use it. And you should use it every time, not just sometimes. Prayer is a sincere desire to enter into a conscious union with the divine presence and to receive from it every good thing that makes life worthwhile. Prayer is a sincere desire to enter into a conscious union. It is about aligning with. It is about aligning with the qualities of God. It is about aligning with the way the law works. It is about aligning with, and when I say the way the law works, I'm talking about that spiritual law, that the law that you see in nature, creativity. You don't get something for nothing. You don't. That's not the way nature works. Go look. Nature does not work that way. But nature can create something from something that we can't see. I mean, go look at the plants. Yes, they have roots, but they also take carbon out of the air and create themselves with it. So they take something we can't see and create something we can. It's not something for nothing. I mean, the laws of thermodynamics tell us that. Nothing is ever created nor destroyed. It simply changes form. All right. So, conscious union. The truth leads me into a more abundant spiritual life. The truth leads me into a more abundant spiritual life. And maybe I did a little purging yesterday, so that's probably where this is coming from. The truth leads me into a more abundant spiritual life. This stuff gets in the way. It absolutely gets in the way. I'm not telling you to give up your stuff. Okay? I'm not telling you that. But sometimes we let the material world crowd out that spiritual life. And when we let the material world crowd out the spiritual life, we're not living anymore. We're just existing. It also leads me into the possession of everything necessary to my well-being here on earth. When I discover the inner kingdom with its spiritual gifts, the material gifts which shadow forth this inner kingdom will also make their appearance. Okay, the material gifts which shadow forth this inner kingdom will also make their appearance. So, there are material gifts that are part of this spiritual kingdom. And when we align ourselves consciously, then those material gifts will appear. But they may not look like what we thought they looked like before. Because we have learned that spiritual lesson, that spirit, and received those spiritual gifts. And then then we look around. Because we need stuff. We do need stuff. But some of the stuff we think we need, we just want. And that's okay too, as long as it's not getting in the way of who you are. I now learn to forget the wrong that may have appeared in my outer world, and turning with gratitude to that inner light, I think upon those things which are good. So I'm going to forget the wrongs of the outer world. I'm going to forget the wrongs of the material world. I'm going to forgive. I'm going to forgive myself. And I'm going to forgive others. And then I'm going to turn towards that light and focus on the good. In doing this, I become emancipated from my previous bondage. And I have a feeling that in doing this, I become emancipated from my previous bondage is a deep spiritual truth that I'm not ready for. And maybe you are. And maybe you are. Because I'm a little stuck on the material thing. Because like I said, I was purging yesterday. I was letting go of. I was looking at stuff going that I've been saving for a project. And I'm like, am I really ever going to do this? And so I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. So yeah, in doing this, I become emancipated from my previous bondage. I'm trying to let go of some of the clutter. Not all of the clutter, because I am the clutter queen, but, you know. I'm trying to manage my hoarding tendencies. My prayer today is one of affirmation. It incorporates a complete acceptance of the divine beneficence and the eternal givingness of the Spirit. It incorporates a complete acceptance of the good and eternal givingness of Spirit. Today, I lift my cup of acceptance, knowing that the universal horn of plenty fills it to overflowing. What I need shall be given to me. What I need, I shall be guided to. And I know this. This shall include everything I need, whether it be health, happiness, or wisdom. And I like how they don't even touch the material. They're like, health, happiness, and wisdom. Those are the things that you need. Health, happiness, or wisdom. Today, my mind is open and my consciousness receives the kingdom into itself. All right. I'm going to go back to this. I think it's super important for us to really focus on what makes life worthwhile and what is necessary for our well-being. So I'm gonna make that the mission for today, which is a little different. That point blank, I'm gonna be honest with you. This mission is for me, and if you choose to accept it, please join me. So our mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to think about, to meditate on every good thing that makes life worthwhile and what is necessary to our well-being. That's what the mission is today. And there is going to be a lot of crossover, and there may be some things that are not. And then I'm going to suggest, once we have that idea, then we focus on those things, and it will lead us in the direction, and it may be a different direction than we've been going. All right. Yes, there's been some upheaval in my life. Can you tell? I'm working on it. And as always, I'm going to encourage you to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like today. You deserve your own loving, kind compassion. Always. Always. And practicing upon yourself gives you the ability to bank it so that you have plenty to share with everyone else that, crosses your path. So, yeah. It was a little foggy this morning, very misty. I heard the weatherman say something about it may be leftover smoke from last night. So some of it's leftover smoke and some of it is just humidity. But I did get some sun. So I got my face full of sun. I encourage you to go get your face full of sun. Do something to engage your mind and your body today, whatever that looks like to you. It's going to be hot, it's going to be sticky, and it's probably going to rain this afternoon, at least here. We are attempting to send some of this bucket raining west. They need it. But please drink plenty of water. Please take care of yourself. And please remember that you are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased, always and forever. This is your state of grace. And so while we are lifting up our cup of acceptance, we are also opening the windows of our soul and letting that breath of heaven remind us that we live in heaven now. It's all around us. It takes our conscious union. It takes our conscious alignment. And it takes our willingness to look around and see the good. The more we look, the more we see, the more we see, the more there is. It's the way good works. It absolutely is. Look for it and you'll find it. All right, beloveds, I'm going to move into the process of my day because, it's Monday. And I'm going to encourage you to do what you need to do. Make it a good day, make it a great day, make it a wonderful day, make it a fantastic day. Whatever level suits you. I would love you to have a fantastic day. But some days, all we can have is a day, and that's okay too. All right? Do what you need to do. Take care of yourself, and know that you are loved. All right? There is a book study tonight. I think they're doing it on Zoom. And I keep forgetting to remember what the book is that they've started on. I believe it starts at 6 Central Time, 7 Eastern Time, because the practitioner who leads that is in Eastern Time. So if you're interested in that, email info@creativelife.org. They're a great group. And Reverend David will be on Facebook Live around 5 p.m. I'll be back 9 a.m. tomorrow. And I did catch up my YouTube channel. So if you want to see more of whatever this is that I do, then please feel free to go check out the Running Rev Ryan YouTube channel. All right, beloveds, have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow.